Hello, I'm Lance Lamont for June 28, 2012. Welcome to AdjusterCom News. This is a story about a veteran lawyer who worked for over 31 years for an institution of a law firm in workers' compensation claims defense. This law firm I knew of back in the 1970s when I was barely out of college as Kendig, Stockwell, and Gleason. Over the years, the name evolved. There was Kendig, Stockwell, Anderson, Whittam, and somebody else, and then it evolved into a different set of partners. And then eventually, by the 21st century, it was Stockwell, Harris, Whittam, Wolverton, and Mule. Well, Richard Whittam joined the firm in 1978. He was with the firm until 2009 when he was fired over allegations that he beat his wife on March 1st, 2009. His wife, Lisa Kerner, worked for the law firm. She started her employment with the law firm in 1995. And she and Richard Whittam got married in 2005. This came to my attention when a document was sent to me by my freelance writer, Jorge Alexandria. It's a 67-page document. Here it is. And it is from the Court of Appeal of the State of California, the 2nd Appellate District, Division 3. This is a document that was a petition filed by the Stockwell firm and Lisa Kerner against the Superior Court of the County of Los Angeles and Richard Whittam. It's an amazing document. I mean, the legalese is as thick as a briar patch. It took me a month to get through this incredibly amazing legal document. What's more amazing is the story behind it. What seems to have happened is that Lisa Kerner and Richard Whittam got married in 2005. Their marriage went along until 2009, until they got in a fight, some kind of a physical altercation on March 1st, 2009, apparently at home. The fight was extreme enough to where she sustained physical injuries. She filed criminal charges against him, and she filed for divorce. She also filed for a restraining order. She got a temporary restraining order, and then she filed for a permanent restraining order. The turmoil that took place at the law firm after this happened must have just been incredible, because the altercation, the fight, took place on March 1st, 2009, and Richard Whittam was fired on April 22nd, 2009. So the allegations from Lisa Kerner are pretty extreme. Criminal charges, preliminary restraining order, permanent restraining order. She also filed a civil tort action against him. And after 31 years with the Stockwell firm, he was out. There were also other allegations that he had previously sexually harassed other members of the firm. One question that comes to my mind among several questions is, a man in his 50s, 55 or 57 years old, doesn't all of a sudden become a wife beater. He doesn't all of a sudden start sexually harassing. This is usually a pattern and practice that has gone on for a long time, probably since he was in his teens and his 20s. So I keep asking the same question. How did this just come out of the blue? And if it had been going on for years and years and years, why didn't the Stockwell firm do anything about it or give him the boot, get rid of him? One of the things that is astonishing about this document is that the judge in the family law motion action, when Lisa applied for a permanent restraining order, didn't believe her testimony. He thought it was just too incredulous and too astonishing. he said, "In fact, some of Ms. Kerner's testimony is among the most incredible testimony I've heard in a very brief period on the bench, but in 40 plus years as a trial lawyer, including most specifically her testimony about why she returned to the home because of concern over her cats and stayed there for 4 days in the face of what she thought was her imminent demise at the hands of Mr. Whittam. So I'm going to deny the request for a restraining order on that basis." I have a lot of response to this statement. It could be that Lisa Kerner is a long-term victim of violence and abuse. She could have previously been abused by a previous husband, or previously abused by her father or another male relative. She could even be an incest victim or something of the sort. So it's possible that her testimony was exaggerated because of all this previous psychic experience that's spilling through. But also, there's another possibility. There's the possibility that being a battered wife, she did what battered wives do because of what's called battered wife syndrome. She went back to her batterer. That's what battered wives do. They go back to the man that beat them, the husband that beat them. And this is very difficult for people to understand who aren't inside this syndrome, and it makes it very difficult for judges to sort this out. So I can see where if Lisa has battered wife syndrome, she just went back to her batterer, as we see in every movie about battered wives, especially in Lifetime television for women movies. So this is another possibility. Also, it's astonishing that Richard Whittam was found factually innocent of the crime in the criminal action. What Stockwell did was assisted and participated with Lisa Kerner in filing criminal charges against Richard Whittam right after the March 1st, 2009 incident. So the district attorney didn't take up the case, but the City of Los Angeles attorney did and filed misdemeanor charges against him. So after the trial, he was found innocent of the charges, and he filed a motion demanding that he be found factually innocent. So based on him being factually innocent, he is in a situation where he can deny that these charges ever took place. In other words, one who's factually innocent gets it completely erased from the record. Poof, it disappears, just like Harry Houdini. So in other words, it's as if this case, these charges, never occurred. Okay, so moving forward, he uses this to file all these different motions like collateral estoppel to prevent any of the allegations to be put into the civil motion, that the civil action that Stockwell, Harris, Wolverton, and Mule have, filed against Richard Whittam. They have countersued him to his suit, alleging that they fired him and they've denied him his back pay. He alleges that they owe him back compensation, $4 million in retirement benefits. So he sued them for his deferred compensation and his retirement benefits. They countersued. He filed an amendment complaint, and that went back and forth ad nauseum. So this article and this broadcast will be continued tomorrow, and I thank you for watching. I'm Lance Lamont from AdjusterCom News.